Hi, Judge. Is this young man charged with unlawful carrying of possession for being under 21?
Correct.
Hold on, I've got a kit. Here's the GPS
But I'm
memo.
more concerned about the defense of others. Did you hear it? I mean,
No, hold on.
hold on a second.
Here's
Put him up
GPS.
there. Let me give you a lawyer, Mr.
Yeah. Oh, I volunteer. I volunteer representation. Yeah.
Give me a record, can you fill that out, please?
I will do that. But here's a GPS memo saying that it's
Hold on a second.
unconstitutional.
You know, representative gentleman?
Oh, hell yes. Here's the Fifth Circuit saying that it's unconstitutional. Here is the United States District Court, Northern District, saying it's unconstitutional. Here's a motion to quash information. I'll just cross out the name.
Great job.
Well, that's stupid, but go ahead, let's do it.
You had no business being in that class. These other people pay money to go to.
Get ready to witness a textbook Karen moment in the courtroom.
Morning, sir. Sir, you're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Shh. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On February 5th, 2025, the officer responded to a suspicious person with a weapon on 5900 Gulf Freeway. The officer made contact with the defendant, who was 17 years old. The defendant advised he was inside Jack in a Box while brothers were selling waters outside. The defendant saw a male rushing at his brothers with a knife, pulled out his gun, and pointed it at the male while telling his brothers to run. The officer performed a search on the defendant, locating a 9mm Glock 19, and the defendant advised he bought the gun from a friend for $150.
I mean,
Yes, Judge. In this case, the officer was going off the fact that he performed the search because he indicated there was a firearm. So
he's going to the defense of others.
yes, Judge.
It's another person.
And it's just the way this is pled is because he's underage. He's below the age of 21. That's the way it's pled, Your Honor.
You hear this?
Hold on, I'm gonna go yell at somebody. Hold on. Hi, Judge. Is this young man charged with unlawful carrying of possession for being under 21?
Correct.
Hold on, I've got a kit. Here's the GPS
But I'm
memo.
more concerned about the defense of others. Did you hear it? I mean,
No, hold on.
hold on a second.
Here's
Put him up
GPS.
there. Let me give you a lawyer, Mr.
Yeah. Oh, I volunteer. I volunteer representation. Yeah.
Give me a record, can you fill that out, please?
I will do that. But here's a GPS memo saying that it's
on a second.
unconstitutional.
You know, representative gentleman?
Oh, hell yes. Here's the Fifth Circuit saying that it's unconstitutional. Here is the United States District Court, Northern District, saying it's unconstitutional. Here's a motion to quash information. I'll just cross out the name.
Great job.
Yeah, I had to get in this fight yesterday and I'm teed up.
Here you go, Mr. Tito.
Thank you.
Judge.
I was
is there
gonna,
PC?
yeah, look, you gotta be very careful. You know, God forbid something happens where you really dig yourself a hole. I'm gonna find no probable cause, but really, you have to be very careful. You know, sometimes you make a decision in life and it can really have consequences, all right? You know what that means, right? Are you in school? It all starts with school, man. You got to get back into school. This is not a good way to go through life at 7. The more schooling you have, the more money you're going to make. Knowledge is power, my friend. Do it. Make something. Make me proud. Please. Kids going to get dismissed. Be careful, friend.
Yeah. Yeah, literally have all that on because I have a case in another court.
I was going to find no PC anyways. So.
Oh, you want me to do that?
Good morning, Judge. We are here on, over here. And
Okay, give me 1 second.
1 second. Right now, I can say.
There's nothing for you out there. Let me express my extreme disappointment that you've now picked up a fourth case. Cannot tell you how disappointed I am. With us in October, terroristic threat. 2 weeks later, another terroristic threat. 2 months later, a reckless driving. And now you've picked up a felony evading in a motor vehicle. Can you tell me what happened in the latest case, please?
The evading, Your Honor?
Please.
Yes, Judge. So in the evading, it was on February 7th, 2025, and the officers observed a vehicle driving recklessly on Mason Road and initiated a traffic stop. The vehicle proceeded to drive at a faster rate of speed and changed lanes when unsafe through moderate traffic, endangering other drivers. The vehicle evaded for approximately half a mile and ultimately entered a parking lot and parked the vehicle behind a restaurant on Mason Road. And at that point, the black male wearing a bright orange shirt exited the vehicle to the driver's door and ran through a large tree bush and evaded on foot. And it looks like he continued to evade, and he was approached as he ran on foot, moving across all lanes of traffic, ultimately coming to a stop due to him slipping and falling. So after evading for half a mile, he just ran on foot, Your Honor.
Judge, I know that that's not our case down here. My assumption, this is a broad assumption, is that perhaps given Mr. Jenkins's recent run-ins with the law, maybe those cops are familiar with him in that area. I don't know, it didn't articulate how he drove recklessly for the initial stop, but I think Mr. Jenkins maybe has some, I think he expressed to me that he thinks he's being treated unfairly.
Yeah.
So I don't think he was doing this out of his own
You
safety.
now have a fourth open case. You know, sometimes we have to protect people from themselves because they are their own worst enemy. I think that you're a danger to the public. You refuse to comply with bond conditions. You have a reckless driving with us. You were ordered not to drive recklessly, and now you've picked up an evading in a motor vehicle. I don't know what to tell you, but Mr. Jenkins, I'm now going to revoke your bond on all the cases, and I'm going to set them high because you are a danger to my public. And I've told you over and over and over and over, if you endanger my public, there's only one thing I'm going to do. So now I'm going to set each of your bonds at 10,004. I am now taking away your privilege to drive. You will be signing an affidavit with me today, promising me you're not going to drive, Mr. Jenkins. And I'm going to tell you that if I find, because I don't know if you're going to bond out, you know, your now bonds are going to set about $40,000. So if you do bond out, you're going to be signing an affidavit with me today, promising me you're not going to drive. If I find that you drive, And I'm also going to put a weapon on here. If I find that you're in possession of a weapon, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm also going to order you to have a curfew of 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.
I'm still living in my home.
We have resources here. We have all kinds of things to give to people, cell phones, tablets, places to live, food to eat. All you have to do is ask and we can give you things. But now you've repeatedly shown me that you're going to do whatever you want to do, to hell with any conditions that a judge puts on you. That's what you have effectively told me by picking up a fourth case and a felony case at that. So what you tell me now goes in one ear, goes out the other ear. I just can't.
No, I'm a roller for the moment.
The unfortunate part is that these felony cases take a very long time to resolve. And I guess we'll track it. It looks like the felony is set for March 20th. If you want the next day, I'm happy to do it.
Well,
Whatever you would like to do.
See what's the chance of going, I don't want to put them in custody. If there's some resolutions we can work on. I think one of them was against the brother. The other one, we're waiting on some surveillance that may have come in already.
Okay.
So,
Well, take your time, whatever you want. But as it stands now, you're too dangerous for me, Mr. Jenkins. You scare me. So, all right, we'll have you come up short to us and we'll talk to you soon.
Judge, for the conditions, you said it's GPS prior to 7 to 7 curfew, no driving, no firearms, weapons, ammunition.
No contact with any of the complaining witnesses on the terrorist threat cases, please.
Do you like the exclusion zone as well?
Yes.